Hello, I'm Mary and this is Jen and Beck, and today we're at the Newstead Community Garden. Back in May of 2008, when the Rudd government held their summit in Canberra, there was a crazy idea here in Newstead that we should perhaps hold our own summit, and we did. About 150 or 60 people turned up at the community centre, and from that lots and lots of ideas developed, and this community garden is just one of the projects.
We went and had a look at lots of other gardens elsewhere, Clunes, Bowen Heads. We were really impressed with that. It's a beautiful garden down there. And people just tossed in their ideas. A lot of people went to work looking for a place, and eventually this was found, which is beautiful. It's just such a wonderful space here. And then we were really fortunate that Mr. Rudd was looking to stimulate us all. So we put in for a package and we got a very good grant. We work with the Shire and they've been so supportive, especially the CEO Phil Rowlands and our local councillor. And we got a plan together. Then we set about doing the work.
With the money we were able to get a horticultural designer in, and Hamish McCallum did this beautiful mandala design, which was then obviously transferred to here. So the paths are really sort of instrumental in how it looks, and it looks most attractive from above.
This land is owned by the All Saints Anglican Church here in Newstead, and that community have been wonderfully supportive. And I think that sort of reflection of the rose seems to link in really nicely with the church, and it's just such a beautiful spot with the peppercorn trees and the big red gum over in the corner, and really nice place to be.
I've been in Newstead for about 4 months, and this was the first thing I became involved with, this community garden, and from that there's an absolute myriad of things going on. You could be out every single night conserving and helping, and it's wonderful. But the other one that's sort of related to the garden is the produce exchange, which happens on a Saturday once a month, and people come and bring their food and what they've grown in the garden, also chutneys and jams, and you put them out on a table, you chat, and you take away what you think you need. And also, I suppose, through the Red Store, which is where it happens, that's also a connecting point for this garden.
And we've just had a phenomenal response from the community. People have donated hay, and the spelt husks come from a biodynamic farm out the road. And we have chosen to do it biodynamically, largely through the influence of Janet Barker, who is going to teach us, we hope, a lot about that.
We have a blog that we set up, and every now and again we'll get a message from fellow who was saying, I really think what you're doing is fantastic and I want to help, and if there's anybody out there who doesn't know how to garden, or who doesn't have tools, or who isn't physically capable, or anything I can do. And so he's come across from Maryborough the week leading up to our opening. He just came and whippersnipped the whole block, just came and did it. Obviously, with water being a real issue, we want to look at ways of being more efficient in our water use and of gardening sustainably. So we'll try out different methods and see what works and see what doesn't. We plan to monitor our water use. We're measuring what we use all of the time, and we'll try to improve that. There's also, I think, a movement probably across the world of a return to growing your own food, which is reflected in community gardens and slow food and all those sorts of things. And there are people who don't know anything about growing food. A lot of the skills have been lost in the last couple of generations, and people are saying, well, I want a garden, but I don't know how. So if they come to a place like this, we can all learn from each other.
It could be a place for the kids from the school. We've talked about that, to come up and learn from us, and they've got a little space, so maybe we can go down and work with them as well. So I think long term, hopefully it will be a really coalescing influence in the town.
It's used for other things as well. There's and we hope that will continue. There's some people that come down for just an informal meditation under the peppercorn tree once a month. We're hoping that people just come and use it as a place to stop off on their way through town, and we have had contact from people elsewhere, Clunes, Smeaton and even Ballarat, who see Newstead as a stopping off place. who would like to just come and be part of it as well.
But the other thing about this is the legacy in this town for people doing really creative things and funding them is phenomenal. And as well, I'm a newcomer, Beck's a newcomer. And I think that's a great privilege, a legacy and an honour. So I personally took that on as well.
It's a place for community to come and to be together and to dig and to... It's about talking as well. Even when we were preparing the site, we'd sit around and we weren't sitting, we were digging. But there'd come the pauses, and in the pauses I found out so much about this town, being a newcomer. It was so informative. And it's just a place to be in Newstead.